Hush Talk family, what's the deal? What's going on? Me and my boy T back at it, checking in. You know what it is, man. Every trade deadline, we have rumors, we have reports, we have official trades. But at the end, you know that we always got to have winners and losers of the trade deadline. Because with every trade, there's a winner and a loser. And we're gonna go ahead and get into that. But my boy T, how you doing, my dog?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm just excited. Hopefully, y'all enjoy this video. And I know the trade deadline is kind of like 2 days away. I mean, 2 days past and stuff like that. But you still get to listen to two of the greatest. Uh, we just not really known yet, but like we know what we talk about over here, man. So you listen to the greatest speakers, analysts, whatever you want to call us, man. So, uh, yeah, make sure you put notifications on, subscribe, and let's get straight to it.
Let's get straight to it, man. Just like how T said, man, we the greatest in the game, man. The greatest podcast in the universe. I said it, T. I said it.
For sure, for sure.
All right, here we go, T. All right, so I know you got four winners and three losers. You want to run off all your winners first, your first winner, and then a loser. How you want to do this?
Yeah. So I just name them all off, and then you go, and then I'll just explain, and then you'll explain. All right.
All right.
So I got the Bucks. I got the Clippers. I got the Los Angeles Lakers, and then for the losers, real quick, I got the Chicago Bulls. I got the Denver Nuggets, and I got the Miami Heat.
Ooh.
Okay. So you just go now, and
All right.
then I'll explain. Okay.
All right, bet. So for my winners, I have the Lakers, I have the Suns, the Clippers, and then for my losers, man, honestly, I'm gonna have to cut a team. I had four losers, but I'm gonna have to come up with three right now. So I got
Oh well. To be honest with you, I had the Phoenix Suns, but like I feel like that one's kind of like
clear. It's kind of clear.
yeah,
You made it
yeah,
KD. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
got
Okay, you feel me?
I feel
Yeah.
you. All right. And then for losers, I have the Nuggets as well. I also have the Bulls, the Mavs. I had another team, but I don't know, man. 'Cause, I mean, we only doing three, so I'll leave it at that.
Hey man, listen, I love that you put the Mavs, and this is gonna get a lot of people talking. That's what we love. But let me just explain what the Bucks. The Bucks made one move, and that one move, honestly, I love it because I was talking to John about this. Right, when you look at championship teams, when you look at teams that are already ready, but they just kind of just need that one piece. They don't need it, but they want it. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are the hottest team in the NBA right now. They're in a 10-game win streak. Giannis is unstoppable. I think he's one of the MVP favorites. He has to be. He just really has to be, right? Chris Middleton's finally getting back into somewhat of Chris Middleton. I'm pretty sure more season, more games under his belt. He's going to be back into old Chris Middleton, and that's scary. I don't care what anybody says, right? You have Bobby Portis coming back from injury. You still got Drew Holiday over there, and then you got Brooke Lopez, the twin tower, who could space out the floor and shoot and protect the rim. But not only that, I put him as a winner because you got Jay Crowder. You gave up players that are not really impacting your team. George Hill, okay, George Hill is just there just to have that veteran to be that point guard, but they already got Javon Carter, who gets some buckets, who is their backup point guard, right? Now then you traded away Serge Ibaka and Jordan Nwora. Serge Ibaka wasn't even in the rotation. He wasn't even playing when you even traded for him. And then Jordan Nwora, he was playing, but it just wasn't really like he's meh. Now you get Jay Crowder, who brings that energy, who brings the toughness, who's gonna have he fits the team perfectly. He's that wing, and we all know Giannis is a big body. He does 1 euro, he's already at the hoop. What does the defense do? They crash on him, and then he has a bunch of shooters around him, surrounded with him, with a Grayson Allen, with a Drew Holiday, with a Chris Middleton, and now you have Jay Crowder who can do it on the defensive end and on the offense and knock down the three. Yes, he has been sometimes inconsistent and stuff like that, but he's been in the championships. He's experienced that. He has all that. So I think it was just a great pickup. And the Milwaukee Bucks, like I said, when you pick up these players that wings are very important in this league. They didn't really need much. It's not like they needed to trade for a superstar like the Phoenix Suns. They just kind of just needed that. And I honestly think their team could be complete. I'm not sure how many roster spots they have available, but maybe they continue and go in the buyout market to just bolster the roster even more to go against the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Man, I love that you bring the Jay Crowder pickup, brother, because that is definitely a not a splash, but definitely one of those low key moves that are really gonna move move the line for the Bucks and be big help for them. And I mean, I don't need to bring up anything that you brought anything else because I mean you brought it all up, you hit all the points. The only other thing I want to say was remember when PJ Tucker helped the Bucks win that championship and then they let him walk the following year to Miami. And a lot of people were like, oh man, like they're crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I said they were crazy myself. But if you look at it right now, they don't look that crazy, right? Because they let him go. PJ Tucker had a serviceable year in Miami. He wasn't the PJ Tucker that we seen guarding Kevin Durant on the Bucks championship year. And now PJ Tucker looks absolutely not worth. He's way overpaid for his contract. I believe it's like 33 mil or something like that.
Yeah.
He's about to be 40 years old on last year of his contract. So just shout out the Bucks, man, because that was a win all around. And I mean, you let go of PJ Tucker and you bought a player like PJ Tucker right back. So nothing but respect.
Who's better offensively?
Exactly. He better, younger, who can do more. So yeah, I think he'll be there for longer. So I was a win-win for the Bucks there. But all right, my boy, go ahead. You want to go off your next one?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go say mine and then you okay. Okay. So another winner, obviously, I have the Clippers. I always love what the Clippers do every offseason. I feel like you can always expect them to do something because their owner wants to win now. And he's very passionate about his team and like just wants to bring that title to the Clippers, not the Lakers, because the Lakers are used to winning those titles. The Clippers, they don't have nothing under their belt. When's the last time they were in the Western Conference Finals, John? You can't even remember. I don't even think I was born during the time. It's been a long, long time. And so when you trade for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and you expect to get something out of it, John, they haven't even made a Western Conference appearance. And so with all these other moves, it's like, it's going to be competitive. But going to the pickups, they picked up Bones Highland for practically nothing, which is a very great pickup. I don't know if y'all watch Bones Highland, the Denver Nuggets are not really on TV like that, which is crazy because they're like a number one seed in the Western Conference. They get no TV time, but I watched Bones Highland play, and that dude can hoop. And I was telling John, I think it has to be an internal thing of why he got traded because on the court is not the problem. Like maybe he does have his flaws like every other player, but he could still consistently hoop. And he was brought to the Clippers to come off their bench, be that 6-man role, and just constantly get buckets. So when either Kawhi Leonard's missing some time or Paul George missing some time, you still have a bench unit that's still producing. Not only did they did that, they picked up a veteran shooting guard in Eric Gordon from the Houston Rockets, which, yeah, his time has passed. Obviously, he's not the same EG from the Charlotte Hornets or even just when he was playing with James Harden, but he could still get some buckets. He has another veteran experience. I don't think they really care for the veteran experience. I just think they just want to keep bolstering their bench because the more depth that you have is better, especially when you hit deeper in the postseason. Players get tired. Their legs get weak. Now we have a whole new unit coming in with EG and Bones Highland when these other players of Robert Covington or just Nicholas Batum are not playing well. We have a unit still coming in that's fresh. You get what I'm trying to say? And not only that, they added Mason Plumlee to back up Zubac. And Mason Plumlee is having a career year statistical wise, averaging 13 and 10 practically. He had some big games in the last 11 games. I've seen some games where he's putting up 25 and 10 rebounds, shooting 11 for 11 or 7 for 7. So I love the moves. I love what the Clippers have continued to do. They have been playing a little bit better basketball. Kawhi Leonard's kind of looking like the old Kawhi Leonard, and I like it. And there's a chance they pick up Russell Westbrook. I know Marcus Morris and Paul George have actively been recruiting him on like interviews and on Twitter and stuff like that, like pretty much saying we want a traditional point guard over here. And they said we'll do whatever it takes to Russ be Russ. But I don't really believe into that because the Lakers said let Russ be Russ and never let Russ be Russ. But anyways, so that's my winner too. And talking about the Lakers, I'm not a fan of the Lakers no more. I'm probably not going to be watching them as much because my boy ain't over there. I'm sorry, John. Keep it a buck with you. I put them on. The only time I'm putting them on is when I see them lose and I go make a TikTok video and talk trash. I made a TikTok video the other day talking trash about the Lakers and had like 200,000 views. And the whole comments are like, you're just mad Russ is going to be in China. You're just mad. Da, 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 da. And I'm just laughing at him because I'm like, there's plenty of teams that want him, but I thought his career was over. Anyways, going to I said Danny Ainge, going to Rob Pelinka and Genie. Got to give them credit, John. You just really got to give them credit. They said, you know what? LeBron committed to us. We got to make him proud. And for a while, we was really criticizing him because we didn't know what they was doing. But it all started from that Rui move. As soon as you shipped off Kendrick Nunn, you picked up Rui. Now you picked up Malik Beasley. You picked up Jared Vanderbilt, a very underrated pickup. I feel like a lot of people is not talking about this because you're talking about Russell and Beasley, but Vanderbilt is very, very underrated. You traded away Thomas Bryant for what, 3 second-round picks, I believe. You got those second-round picks back from trading Kendrick Nunn for Rui, and then you use the 1 second-round pick to pick up Mo Bamba after giving up Thomas Bryant to the Denver Nuggets. So now you have a backup big to Anthony Davis. You got to give them credit. They're a way better team than they was a few days ago. They surrounded the team with shooting, and they surrounded the team with more length and just having big bodies. And so if Anthony Davis ever goes down, because we all know technically he does go down every other week, you could put Jared Vanderbilt in the slot in there. You could put Mo Bamba. You still have Gabriel coming off the bench. You should obviously you're not going to be the same without AD, but at least you do got the bigger bodies there, and at least you do got the shooting. So got to give them that. And then obviously the Phoenix Suns, they picked up Kevin Durant. I do want to say this though, John, real quick. Paper, they look good. Let's see if they can all plan it out to play together, because for big threes, typically some big threes don't work out. The Lakers' big three did not work out. The Brooklyn Nets' big three didn't work out. A few years ago, Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, that big three didn't work out. So we just got to really see. But those are my winners.
All right, my boy. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and go off my winners and talk about that. I'll start with the Lakers, man, because yeah, the Lakers are definitely a winner. And yeah, you said it best, brother. It all started with that Rui trade. It happened on January 23rd. Not only did you get Kendrick Nunn, and Kendrick Nunn was I just feel like was such a awkward piece on that Lakers team, because we knew what he can be because we seen it. We watched him be so good on Miami. We were like, well, where is that? Because we haven't even seen like a glimpse of that. Like not even maybe like a play or two where we're like, oh yeah, that's Kendrick Nunn in Miami that just comes off the bench and gets buckets. So I was happy to get him out. That was, that was great. And just to bring in somebody that's a better shooter, a better defender, just a better fit for the team. And then you talk about, getting the 3 second-round picks for Thomas Bryant. That's huge. And then I'm not gonna lie. Once we let Thomas Bryant go, I was a little worried because I was like, oh man, like AD can't just be having no backup. Like you said it best. AD goes down literally every other week. So I'm like, all right, well, like when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player, but he's going down often. So man, I'm kind of worried. And then we landed Mo Mamba, which honestly is it's not something, I'm saying, to lose your head over. But I was thinking about it. I was talking to my brother, and I was like, in a way, this is like the discounted version of Miles Turner. You know what I'm saying? A big guy, get some blocks, can shoot a little bit. So he's just really gonna help the Lakers, be that big team inside, be some real big trees. Like just him himself has a 7'10" wingspan, so that's berserk. We know what AD do down there. And then the other win that really helped the Lakers was getting off Russell Westbrook's contract. Because look, man, I'll say this: like I think Russell Westbrook was great coming off the bench, but he wasn't getting paid coming off the bench money because of the contract that we simply picked up from the Wizards, and that hurts the team the ability to be able to have move wiggle room to move around and bring on other players. So I think it was great to get off Russ's contract, but D'Lo's trade, man, and I've talked about this before. I mean, I've talked about this. If you want to see my first original reaction thoughts, just go to our channel. You'll see we have a reaction to the D'Angelo Russell trade, and you're gonna see me spot off on that. But I'll do a little bit more right here. Look, man, I mean, Lakers land a true point guard. You're gonna allow LeBron to be able to just simply run the lanes and get a lot more easy buckets. But D'Lo's just gonna feed him instead of LeBron having to initiate the offense and go get a bucket himself. And D'Lo is also going to take a lot of the stress away from LeBron, like I just mentioned, being the offense initiator. D'Lo this year, 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, shooting 46% from the field and 39% from three. I didn't even think he was shooting almost 40% from three. I didn't even think that, to be honest. So that was great. That was great to see. But like I said, though, man, Jared Vanderbilt, that is such a sleeper pickup. And right when this trade came out, I even told you, I said, I like D'Lo. I think D'Lo is going to be nasty on the pick and roll. AD, I think he's going to help LeBron. Malik Beasley is going to be a great corner shooter, but Jared Vanderbilt is going to be exactly what the Lakers need come playoffs. When the game gets smaller, when the game gets shorter, when it gets half court game, a player like that is going to be huge, man. He was a big part of why the Timberwolves had such good half court defense. when they went on that run. And most of all, why the Lakers are winners. You know why, my brother? Because they did right by LeBron. You know what I'm saying? How many times was LeBron in the media or just talking to people or making quotes? LeBron is smart. LeBron is very meticulous. He's not just going to say something and expect it to stay in that conversation. That's obviously going to get out to the world. But he was saying like, yeah, I don't like losing. I'm not in my point of my career to do this. And we talked about it. We even did a reaction to LeBron talking about that, right? So LeBron was putting it out, putting the pressure on Jeannie and Rob. So most of all, man, the Lakers front office are winners for doing right by him. My next winners, the Suns, K freaking D and TJ Warren. Not, I don't really got to say much there. Although I do like the point that you brought up of not of we got to see how they're going to gel because some big threes haven't worked out. I don't have too much of a concern as to how they're going to gel like moving forward, but I'll be real with you. I do not have them winning the championship this year. I think they're the greatest team on paper. If you look at them, I think that they have a great chance. But if you ask me, John, put your money on a team winning, I wouldn't put the Phoenix Suns because at a NBA Finals level, deep into the playoffs, all these teams are good. These are all great players. You know what I'm saying? So what sets your team apart from besides you just having Kevin Durant? Like what sets your team apart? And a lot of that sometimes is team chemistry. A lot of that is knowing your teammates and playing to their strengths. And are the Suns going to have enough time versus a team that's had the whole year? My next team, the Clippers. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. You said it best. You talked about Mason Plumlee's number, Bones Highland's numbers. That's great. I just the only thing I want to add, Eric Gordon. To add him is great because we all know how great of a spot up shooter he is. And let's be honest, with players like Kawhi, with players like Paul George, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, people can't guard them one on one. Like people just cannot guard these players one on one. So they will blow by whoever their defender is. And once they get inside, the defense is going to crash. The second the defense crashes, you just have to have shooters around them. And so picking up a shooter and a vet like Eric Gordon, because we know that vets matter come deep in the playoffs. So picking up a shooter like Eric Gordon, picking up a vet like him is great. And then, Mason Plumlee, that was definitely one of my favorite pickups because he could maybe start some game depending on the lineups out there. And then my fourth winner that I had was the 76ers. Jalen McDaniels for Matisse Thybulle is great. There's no real big defensive drop off there. And I even think Jalen can do more on offense. Matisse, every single playoff series was really unplayable. They kind of gave him the Ben Simmons treatment. And then also, this is more of a front office move type thing. But with that trade, they are now sitting well under the tax line, and they have a lot of flexibility for this buyout market. So the rich got richer, man. They're the third seed. They're 4 games out of the first seed. So those are my winners, brother.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think that's a very underrated thing you brought up because no one likes to talk about the pay tax thing, but that's important. It's part of the league. It's part of the NBA. So we're going to losers now. And my loser, we got to start off with Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are just bad. I mean, they're 26-29. They're terrible away. They're 10-18. Currently 5-5 in their last 10. They just lost to the Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie, without KD, without Ben Simmons. It's really bad. I was watching that game, and I believe they were stuck at 94 points for at least 5 minutes. They couldn't score, and they had DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Caruso on the court at the same time. And Vooch. So you couldn't be a Brooklyn Nets team that just pretty much traded everybody away. And then you didn't trade anybody of any of your players. They've been talking about Kobe White being traded. Has yet to been traded for the last 2 years, right? I'm pretty sure there's value for him. Anybody likes a combo guard, even if he hasn't played too well. A combo guard that's young, the young teams want that. Look at Devontae Graham, for example. Just got traded to the Spurs. He just dropped 30 points first game, John. First game, and you said something about you should never trade Devontae Graham for Josh Richardson. Also, though, so the fact that you kept Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, that tells me you think you can still win with this team as a GM, right? So now, shouldn't you want to get better players around them and you did not even do that. You didn't make one move for a team that's 26-29, who's negative. You're under 500 3 games. It's bad. Like you had to do something, and you did nothing. You stood still for a team that does not need to be standing still at all. All right. Number two, I put the Denver Nuggets only for one reason. I don't really typically think they're losers, but only for one reason. I think you could already notice, John. They traded Bones Highland for trash. Literally trash. Bones Highland is worth at least a rotational player, a player in return, or a first round pick. You got what, 2 second-round picks out of that?
Yeah.
And yeah. And the thing was, you said you wanted to upgrade that position. Well, you didn't upgrade that position at all. You downgraded from that position, and then you traded for Thomas Bryant, which he was complaining about. He wasn't getting enough minutes with Anthony Davis. Now, he's going to be backing up Jokic? Do you think he's going to be getting any minutes from that? The best center in the league? So what are you going to do with Thomas Bryant? Are you going to just be like, play your role? Because I thought he was playing his role in LA. He said, no, I want minutes. And so for his aspect, he just wants money to support his family, cool and all. But so I got to give you an L for that. You didn't do much but trade Bones Highland for nothing. And then my third team, honestly, is the Portland Trailblazers. Some people have some for winners for them, but the only reason why I'm going to give them an L, they gave up a first-round pick for Cam Reddish. I don't like that. I think Cam Reddish has potential, but I tell John all the time, I'm tired of this potential word. I need to see you do it. You've been on several teams. You've been on the New York Knicks. You've been on the Atlanta Hawks. It's not like you're a rookie. You're not a second-year player no more. There's something that you're doing that we just can't see, John. I think it's just the truth, right? Because we don't see what they're doing in practice. We don't see what he's doing in interviews. I mean, like meetings or anything like that, or film. He could be missing film. He could be doing terrible in practice. And I think it's internal of why every single team gives up on him, John. Every single team that he's been on give up on him. Trailblazers are just like, we're just trying anything right now. They put him in the starting lineup already. They're just trying anything because Portland is desperate. They just want to try new things. And then they gave up Josh Hart, a part of that trade. And to be honest with you, I don't think Josh Hart's a bad player. So you gave up Josh Hart and then a first-round pick for Cam Reddish, which you don't know what you're going to get out of. At least Josh Hart, you kind of know who the player he is. I would say Cam Reddish has the higher up like the potential than Josh Hart, obviously. But like I said, we have yet to see it. We have yet to see it do it or anything like that. So I give you a big L. And then you pick up Matisse Thybulle, which is like, okay, cool, a nice wing, but he's unplayable at some times. He can't shoot. He can't really do too much, but play defense. And it's like, and then you traded Gary, what's his name? Payton? Gary Payton? Yeah, Gary Payton away. So you just traded. Technically, I think that was their best defender at a time when he's healthy. I think he's a really, really good defender because he does a lot more than just defend. He does a lot. He was a reason why Golden State won championships. You give him away, even though I think that trade may be going back, which is super unfortunate. But it's just like I personally just didn't like the moves. Like Matisse Thybulle doesn't improve your roster, and Cam Reddish doesn't really improve your roster. They had to make that big move. They didn't get rid of Nurkic, he can hardly run. He's moving in sand. So I give them a big L.
Man, it's really wild to think Dame's really rotted his career in Portland. Like, bro, and he continues to stay through this. Like, I was thinking, like, all right, Dame's old. He's like, dang, I ruined my prime in Portland. But now let me go somewhere and get a ring. And he still decides to stay. They still keep him. This is just absolutely wild. But I do like that Portland Trailblazers losers. Let me go ahead and get to my losers. I also have the Denver Nuggets. They didn't get. I also, what you said of Bones Highland. They gave up Bones Highland for second-round picks, but they also didn't get any better. Like they didn't get any better while their competition got better. The Suns got better. The Mavs got better. The Clippers got better. If you look on in the Western Conference standings, the Grizzlies are the second seed. They didn't, they didn't really get that much better. The Sacramento Kings are in a third seed. I think the Kings, so they should have just sat and did nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're rocking out. But the fourth seed got better, the fifth seed got better, and the sixth seed got better. Man, the Nuggets need to feel that pressure on them.
Yeah, they do. But I don't mean to cut you off. The Memphis, they didn't get better, but at least they got some shooting. They got a shooter.
Absolutely. So. Right. And the Denver Nuggets, like, I understand that, you're in the first seed. Maybe you want to just stay pat, but Nah, dog. Like you got to realize that you got as the first seed, you got a target on your back. You getting hounded every single night, so you got to stay at your tip top shape. And just to the last thing I want to touch on with the Denver Nuggets, they gave away Bones Highland to the Clippers, who's in the Western Conference, right? So you made your competitor better. So definitely a big L for the Denver Nuggets. And the next team that I have is, you know what? You did the Bulls, so you talked about everything that there was possible to talk about the Bulls. So I'm gonna take the Bulls out, and I'm gonna do who I had as my fourth team because I really think this team also took an L. So instead of the Bulls, I'm gonna do it audible real quick. Take the Bulls out. I'm gonna put the Toronto Raptors because the Raptors did absolutely nothing. A team that we all thought, man, they're for sure going to be sellers this year. We did our buyers and sellers episode. We said the Toronto Raptors have to be sellers. They have all these players. They have so many assets to offer. When we did the KD video, which unfortunately we never even were able to drop because KD signed before we could even drop that video, right? We said the Toronto Raptors have the most assets to offer the Nets, and they didn't do nothing about Fred's situation. They did nothing about Gary Trent's situation. They brought in Jakob Poeltl, which honestly doesn't make them better enough. Like it makes them better, but not enough to compete in the deep in the East. So I think the Toronto Raptors are losers. And then my third team that I have, the Dallas Mavericks. And I know some people are going to be sitting there like, well, we got Kyrie. Kyrie went for like 25 in his first game and whoopty whoop. And da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, Kyrie looks cool out there. Yes, Kyrie looks good out there. But all you did was get Kyrie and a Morris twin, Markieff Morris, as a matter of fact. All you did is get Kyrie and Markieff Morris. And you're like, all right, we ready to compete for the title. Are you serious? Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks front office, are you not subscribed to Clutch Talk? Because we dropped a video that said 7 realistic trades for the Dallas Mavericks to make. So either y'all not subscribed or, well, I don't know, the video didn't get to you. Maybe you don't got your post notification bell on. So I think that's blasphemous. There's no way that this is the team that they think is going to take them to the promised land. They're way too slim at the big position. And I was expecting a lot of moves, a lot more moves after the Kyrie trade, but they pulled a Rob Pelinka. They did a move and then they tucked off.
Wow.
So
another team I forgot is Miami. I forgot to put them out there, John.
Okay.
Miami made no move. Yeah. Miami did nothing. Stood still. They didn't do nothing in the offseason. So I'm like, okay, maybe Pat Riley's gonna do something at the trade deadline. What does he do? Nothing. So like and I still think the East is open, personally, in my opinion. I really do feel like the East is open. You got the Celtics and Bucks, but I mean, now what? I think the Miami can compete with the Sixers. They like after that, like who are we worried about? And you did nothing. So now they got to rely on the buyout market. And I typically say, if you make no moves during the trade deadline, you rely on the buyout market, you're just not going to win enough. But if you make a trade and then you add to the buyout market, you're ready. They did nothing. So,
man,
those are our winners and losers.
Yes, sir, man. That's our winners and losers. 4 winners, 3 losers. Trade deadline. This was a very, very fun and exciting trade deadline. And stay tuned, y'all, because as y'all know, as soon as the trade deadline ends, the buyout market begins, and that's extremely fun and exciting. So we'll have videos coming out of top players of the buyout market. We'll be talking about that. So, like my boy T said in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on that post notification bell on. Just click that bell, click that thing, and then make sure you follow our socials, man. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. It's at Clutch Talk Pod. We be over there, interactive posts, clips, all that. Bless you, my boy T. but my boy T, you got any last words to say before we get up out of here?
We love y'all, man.
All right, man. Keep supporting. But that's it, then. We out here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.